Hello and welcome to Degen Wrestling presents Wrestling Weekly. It's the show where Ben and I, that's me, and that's Ben, go
Yeah.
through all of our picks for the weakest match, segment, or whatever, and why it is the weakest match, segment, or whatever. If he and I both agree, it's going to be a shitfest on your favorite segment. If we don't agree, we're going to come to blows. Either way, some bloodshed is going to happen. I am prepared. I've got my vest on here. In terms of a vest, I mean the Beatles shirt because you can't harm the Beatles, man. Give peace a chance.
Yoko
And
Ono did.
and Ben, no, she harmed a part of the Beatles. She harmed John,
She split them up.
and
She harmed the
therefore,
Beatles.
yeah. But you're not into Yoko Ono, are you?
No, I'm just
Good.
saying that
There you
you
go.
can't harm the Beatles.
Fine. Jerk. Um, so why don't we get this started? Because it's our first episode, I kind of want to go through my process for how I narrowed these down because I came here even before we started. I came here with four of them.
Yeah.
And those four were the Rey Mysterio injury, the Charlotte Flair, Bianca Belair versus Sonya Deville and Chelsea Green match, the CM Punk segment from AEW Collision, and the Bloodline segment opened SmackDown.
Yeah.
For whatever reason, SmackDown was just really flawed this week, and I thought to myself,
Very flawed.
it's yeah. And it was one of those things where I'm like, okay, if I can pick three out of it, it's not a good show, it's not a good night. And so now I've got my main three or main four. I want to try to eliminate them one by one. To start things off, the Bloodline segment, Roman Reigns versus Jey Uso. Why didn't I like it? Is very simple. I wanted Jey to get more up on Roman than just I beat you, I pinned you. I'm the only one to pin the tribal chief, which by the way isn't true. Baron Corbin did it
In
when
the
Roman
last
was
three,
close.
but
Yeah,
that's not when he was the
in the
tribal
last few
chief.
years, it is true. But the
But it's
way it
also
was,
not when he
but
was the tribal
yeah,
chief.
but the way it was phrased is that Jey Uso is the only man to pin Roman Reigns.
But he said tribal chief,
That's how
so
it. No, he didn't.
I understand. Didn't he?
He didn't. No, he
Oh,
said I'm the only one to do it. He didn't say he's the only one to pin the tribal chief. Now the graphic on him when he went out for his match, forget against who, but the graphic he had did say only man to pin the tribal chief.
yeah.
Um, but no. The end of that segment was Michael Cole using exposition to say that Jey Uso didn't fall for Roman Reigns' mind games. What should have happened, in my opinion, is that Jey Uso should have started playing mind games with Roman and winning and being effective to the point where, because right now, I'm sorry, I can't buy Jey Uso as a tribal chief. And I need to if they're going into tribal combat. If you're going to build this whole thing around the bloodline, you need to build Jey Uso up as a potential equal or successor to Roman. Not just with his wrestling ability, but with his mind.
Yeah, that's not gonna happen.
That being,
I
yeah,
can't
it's
buy
not,
Roman as a tribal chief anyway, so it doesn't matter to
yeah,
me.
it's not going to happen, but it needs to, in my opinion, in order to make the storyline better, and it's just not going to happen. That being said, the performances of Roman and Jey and Paul Heyman were Roman and Jey and Paul Heyman. You're not getting anything out of the ordinary or bad there. So as much as I hate what's happening with the storyline, the segment itself was not weak. It wasn't strong, but it wasn't weak upon looking back at it again and again. Next up is the Rey Mysterio Santos Escobar match and Rey's subsequent injury. You were actually the one to talk me out of this one. because they changed the point of emphasis from Rey Mysterio's apparent concussion and the match stoppage to where it was originally on SmackDown. They found out, or WWE on their YouTube seems to pin the blame on a errant baseball slide that knocked Rey
baseball
Mysterio
slide.
silly.
What would you call it? Baseball slide.
I like to call it
Type thing?
just a diving shoulder tackle,
Yeah,
because
but I mean it
that's
was to a downed enemy, to a downed
yeah,
opponent. So
yeah. I'm not sure
baseball
what,
slide splash.
yeah, I'm not sure what you'd call it, but it looks like if that's the point of impact, that Rey Mysterio got hit
That looked
hard there.
nasty.
Um, that being said, I will say this, and my original argument was this when it came to the weakest segment. If this is used to further a storyline in any way, it is disgusting. It is something that happened. Um, but please don't use it. It was a freak accident. It should have never happened. My biggest offense was that Rey Mysterio didn't sell the injury enough. But I'm guessing part of it was Rey Mysterio just wanting to stand up at the end of it
Yeah, yeah,
to see if he could. That being said, freak accident. It was a bad end to a match.
yeah. Escobar looked completely taken by surprise.
Yeah. Like Escobar looked pissed, but then again, it would also
Yeah,
be his character to look pissed if something happened to Ray. They're good friends. They're in the LWO. That all makes sense. All of that's fine.
yeah. It's just the
Um,
reaction did not look staged.
yeah. So now I'm down to CM Punk revealing the real AEW World Heavyweight Championship,
That's the worst thing this week.
and Charlotte Flair and Bianca Belair versus Sonya Deville and Chelsea Green. I'm gonna tell you why I can't pick CM Punk, because that entire segment and Punk's entire diatribe on it, because it wasn't really a promo, it was a rant, just made me laugh. It made me laugh, and it made me laugh hard.
It made me annoyed.
Um, but because it made me laugh, I'm like, I derive pleasure out of this. And if you can somehow, some way elevate Ricky Starks to the point where he can consistently beat CM Punk and a lot of people using this new angle, that's fine. Go ahead, do it. You can still make chicken salad out of this chicken shit. What you can't make chicken shit out of is Charlotte Flair and Bianca Belair versus Sonya Deville and Chelsea Green. It was a simple can they coexist storyline. Charlotte Flair, Bianca Belair, and Asuka are feuding over the women's championship. The only likable one in this group is the Savage. Let's be clear. Because both Charlotte and Bianca, for the most part of this storyline, if you take like personal feelings out of it, Charlotte Flair is being an entitled bitch by jumping to the front of the line. Bianca Belair is being an entitled bitch by saying that Bianca Belair should be able to jump to the front of the line to challenge Asuka.
Yeah.
That's the crux of why Bianca Belair and Charlotte Flair are feuding. And somehow, some way, you're trying to portray them both as faces against the heel Asuka, who legitimately doesn't care who she fights, that she will destroy all of them. I'm sorry, but my heart is with the Savage here. When
Wait,
you
but isn't
make
Asuka to the face and they're the heels?
no, that's not the way they're trying to portray it. That's what makes this funny.
Oh, that's stupid.
Asuka is not the face of this feud.
Yeah.
But yet she should be.
And isn't one of the complaints Bianca had that she didn't get her title rematch after losing it?
Yes, and that
When
Charlotte Flair got to jump in front of her.
But when they have announced that there are no more title
Yes!
rematches,
Yeah,
when you
and
lose
Charlotte
a
Flair
title.
jumps to the front
Yeah.
and gets a rematch right away. Yeah. No, this whole storyline is a train wreck. But what's even worse is that you're ruining your women's tag team division with it now.
Yeah. The
Because
thing that they were trying to rebuild.
you're trying to rebuild the women's tag team division. You've got the entitled bitches versus Sonya Deville and Chelsea Green, whose whole entire gimmick are that they're entitled Karens, or AKA entitled
Yeah.
bitches. You have Charlotte and Bianca beat them. What does that do for anything? Because it's a
Nothing.
can they coexist storyline, and it doesn't matter in a can they coexist storyline whether they win or lose,
Yeah,
except if
just
they
have
go
it
up against
devolve.
champions.
Yeah.
In which case, no, they should not be able to win against tag team champions in a tag team match if they cannot work together and they
Yeah.
are and they're bitching at each other and yelling at each other. And I'm just like, I don't understand why WWE, I don't care if it's Vince or Hunter or who, thinks this works, because it doesn't. It's doing way more harm than good. And I don't know what the end game is. I don't know, like, I can't even think of a way you can salvage this. That is how
Yeah.
bad of a train wreck it is. Because no matter what, Bianca Belair's image is damaged. So unless
Yeah.
you turn her heel and make her the heel, it's not going to do anything for her. Charlotte Flair has sucked the charisma out of a bunch of matches in this feud, and she's supposed to be a face for being Charlotte Flair.
Yeah.
Like, meanwhile, Asuka, the person who won the championship through shenanigans months ago, like won the championship off of Bianca, having not really defended it outside of the women in this program, is somehow not the face, even though she is the one who is doing the least to hinder anybody's progress at her championship, because she doesn't care
Yeah.
who she fights. She just wants to fight and keep her title. I don't get it. And it now has harmed something that you're trying to rebuild. I don't know how you can make chicken salad out of that chicken shit. So that's why I'm personally going with the weakest segment being Charlotte Flair and Bianca Belair versus Sonya Deville and Chelsea Green.
Yeah.
Because I don't get it.
I know you'll have a lot of people agree with you, and I'll get a lot of backlash probably if anybody actually watches this. But no, it's to me, it's definitely the CM Punk pulling out the old belt that he never lost in a storyline that he's basically reiterated from 2011, except it's not against another champion. Just because he never lost, I don't care. It's been what, a year almost?
Yeah.
Over a year, something like that. You had to relinquish it. It's gone. You're not the champion. Give it up. Don't act like you are, especially when you have been put so far down at this point, basically. Maybe try building yourself back up, but you just keep saying the same damn shit week after week and expect people to get on board again.
Yeah. Is he expecting people to get on board again, though?
Of
Because
course he is. He's CM Punk.
this is one of those things, though, where I think he's starting to realize that there's no way, so he's turning heel. He's good about reading the crowd as much as you'd like to.
Okay, but here's the thing about that. When CM Punk reads the crowd, if he knows he's got to go heel, that's getting people on board.
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter
So
either way.
so you don't believe he'll get people on board with this at all?
I don't think he should actually try.
Okay.
I think it's stupid with the title at least.
Okay. With the
He's
fake
not the
championship.
champion. It's not the real AEW championship. It's just another belt AEW has crowding its ranks at this point. And it's stupid.
All right. Any other segments for you that were up there, or was it just the Punk thing completely?
Just basically, yeah, that overshadows everything. But I guess
Okay.
the segments you said, yeah, they terrible, but no, that's what really drives it home. Just, oh, I'm the real champion. No, you're not. Give it up.
Uh, I watched some of that promo. You're right. It's a diatribe. Uh,
Yeah,
it's 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 rehashing the same old stuff from Money in the Bank 2011.
like I
The
don't think even Ricky Starks beating Pong, taking the belt, would do anything because the belt means nothing.
Okay, that's an interesting point. That's something actually I didn't think about.
Yeah,
Um, but would Ricky Starks take the belt, or will this be an angle where
it's
Ricky
for the
Starks just
belt.
destroys the belt? Yeah.
Yeah, I can't see Ricky Starks destroying the belt, but
Okay.
I just think it's ridiculous that they're doing it this way when Punk shouldn't have had title to begin with.
No. There I'm 100% with you. As I say, they can still, like, for me they can make chicken salad out of it, but I understand why, for you and for a lot of people who may agree with you, why it wouldn't.
I'm tired of the hypocrites, basically. I used to be a big fan of his.
Yeah. All right, so that's all we have for Wrestling Weekly. What do you guys think?
Yeah.
Are you with Ben or are you with me? Let us know in the comments below. Degen Wrestling will be coming at you live right here, right now, next week, same bat time, same bat channel. Well, maybe not the same bat time, but you get the
Yeah.
idea. Wrestling Weekly. Out.